Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. We putting the rest of our garden in. Y'all seen us video. We did a little bit of the trellises and stuff by hand. Well, I put the middle buster on the plow. We made our furs, we call them, which is ditches. And I've come over here and you see I've got one in the middle here. And then one over here. Well, two over here. So we're getting everything ready to go. I was gonna show you the corn is up, y'all. The corn we planted. We have the prettiest crop of corn that I have had come up yet. No more experimenting. So now we fixing to get on the tractor. I have got a set of plows. Let me bring them around here and let y'all look. And y'all look at my apple tree. This thing is, I mean, sparse. Like, there's just some blooms here and yonder. Y'all, the cold has hurt it. There's a whole lot of limbs that are just nothing on them. I mean, no leaves, no this. Fig tree, I don't think we're going to be no figs this year. Terrible year for fruit, y'all. But anyway, on the back of this tractor, you see this set of plows that we've got right here. Try to let y'all seen me use them before. Same plows I use on everything. So I'm just gonna straddle these ditches now that's got fertilizer in them. And we're gonna cover these up, hill them up. I'm probably not gonna put plants in the ground today because it is gonna be in the 40s tonight. And I got little transplants like this tall, y'all seen them. So we just getting more prep done. Well, y'all, we got it all covered up. I did not plow around them onions with that tractor. I'm gonna have to take my little tiller and get up real close to these fences, and I'm gonna put in some more metal fence posts to hold them up straight. So that's gotta have some attention. 2 rows made in there, and then I went ahead and plowed my corn. Now I got bad close to it down here in this 1 row and plowed a little of it up on this upper end. You had to really be careful. But anyway, we getting some of this done and getting it where we can plant some stuff, which this is already planted obviously, but I'm gonna take, like right here, you see I'm gonna take that little tiller that we just rebuilt and get real close to them fences, but I'm probably gonna put my metal fence post in first. So anyway.
Hey, Dad.
What?
See that all the boy on the eggs?
Yeah, that's where they hatched out of.
Yeah.
We had 2 that didn't, pipped, started getting out and then didn't get out. So didn't make it, but we've got 1, 2, we got 5 hatched out in there. 3, I think, Americanas and 2 Kelsos hatched. So we finally got some eggs hatching. I had some problems with my incubator throughout the year. The cord on this Inkbird, let me turn around where you can see. This Inkbird, there's a cord that drops down in there. Well, I had to move it lower than this one up here to make sure I got to the right temperature, because you need to run a couple of thermometers or thermostats, probably thermometers in there, and you see I got 1 manual one in there so you can see what the real temperature is. It depends on where that sensor is, because this thing don't keep a constant temperature over the whole thing. So we struggled, had that a little off, it wasn't working right. Now we've got it running right. It's hatching eggs now. Alright, y'all, so I realize this probably ain't gonna be the best footage, but I've got 2 that I pretty well know. I know there's 2 Americanas hatched out, 2 that did not hatch. Kelso, Kelso, Kelso. I think everything that hatched is Kelso. So I know this is an Americana. I can tell by the way it looks. I know that is an Americana, and I've got a box right here I'm setting them in. So here's what to do now. I've got these, I'm gonna set him down in that box for a minute. I've got some real small zip ties. Now my color codes are just personally, I chose this color for this thing. Let me talk. So I've got these real small zip ties and some cutters. So what I do is I go ahead and I start this zip tie, and y'all, it is aggravating. Some people clip the inside between their toes to mark what bird is what. This seems to work for me. Watch, don't get in front of the camera. But their little feet, you have to pull it pretty tight, and then you have to change these out. Do not put these on there if you're absent-minded and not going, because you have to pull it pretty tight to where it won't fall off. And you see it's loose on there. Don't cut his little toe when you're doing this. You got to hold that leg pretty good. So now he's got a band on his foot. That tells me, so whenever they get a little bigger and they all in one thing, I can find the kelsos and the mule trains. That is my way of keeping them separated, okay? I'm going to do these other two off camera, and then we're going to take them and put them all in a brooder coop.
Daddy.
There's a bug on that pottery. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that bug, that spider.
Oh, there's a spider on the box. Here, get him. With the crawfish. And y'all, Brooder still ask questions. I guess I should have showed y'all. This is a box of zip ties, so I've got several different colors. Here, purple was toppy when I had toppies. I don't really have any more toppies. Green was hatch. Blue was always mule train. I'm trying to remember what the orange was and the yellow. I think I'll have to go, because really the only thing I'm trying to differentiate right now is kelsos and mule trains. One of those colors, I think the yellow I put on the Clemens grays, what it was. I separated my grays with yellow and blue. That's what it was. But anyway, you have to write all that down in a notebook too when you're doing it. Okay, we got babies in here, all doing well. The Americanas, I'll be able to tell them apart. So I'm raising the Americanas because they are my favorite egg-eating, laying bird to have. I'm eventually going to swap some pens around and build them one big pen to put them in. So I've actually got two Mac Rays in here that really need to come out, because it's really time to clean all this up. Because you see now we got several different size birds, and I worry about the bigger birds picking on the little ones. So it's time to get two of those out. I'm fixing to put them probably back with their mama over there, because there's about 5 more of them. I don't know if she's gonna take to them or not. We'll have to see. So I just moved all the little Mac Ray babies. I had 2 in the brooder coop you saw, and then there was about 5 out here with their mama. So I put the mama back where she come from, all the babies in here together into a bigger pen. And then I moved the one Americana that I have hatched thus far. It's right here. So it's got a little bit of water. I put a pan to put the feed in, because otherwise they'll scratch it all through that wire and it'll wind up like that. And then under here, y'all, you can clean compost. This is the best setup for collecting compost. You can rake it out from under there. Keeps those pens clean. I like this the best, but they do waste some feed if you're not careful. Some of the babies we've hatched, some of what's going on. I get a lot of people asking about chicken and game fowl videos, so I'm trying to do some, and I realize y'all, the sun is blinding me. Lord help. And anyway, I think Brody is ready to do some gardening. He's right on my heels, following me around. My little buddy right there, y'all. Thanks. got some T-post right here. I've got to fix this wire where it's all laying up. The reason is last year I put those oak slats, and they in the ground, they're not gonna last a full year. It's just the way it is. But that was all I had at the moment. I got a hold of these. So what I'm doing here is I'm coming in, push my fence up to where I want it. Then I'm gonna bring this up, set it on top, and then I'll take me some wire and I'll fasten this to it. And I may actually drop this over where I can adjust it to the height I want. But these wood, they just wouldn't gonna last. So I've got several of them. I'm gonna put down both of these. I'm probably gonna just pull that out. I don't know if I'm gonna leave that one in there or not. Probably not. Probably not. Once I get some wire tied to this, I probably should have went through the bottom of it, but I don't think I can at this point. I didn't know if I could while I was driving it, but I've got to do this other one over here too. And it has held up fairly well. So I'm gonna leave, these are fairly sturdy, but up there it's leaning, so we're just gonna come in here and I'm gonna add some posts in there and leave those for now. Well, for the duration of summer, we will have to leave that prop right there. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna put it on the inside. That way I can, it's not in the way of me mowing or plowing. Y'all, I put in some plants the other day. I was in a hurry. I did not film it. I'll show you what I've done. Right here, I've got a whole row of squash. I started zucchinis. I had to put everything in the ground while the ground was wet that day, right after it rained, so that I wouldn't have to do so much watering in. And so we've got zucchinis. I've got some stuff that didn't sprout well. I'm gonna come in and fill in the gaps. Now here, this is a whole row of squash. This year, you will see my squash do better than they've ever done. I'll have plants up like this. I knew what I could do tilling the ground. I tried to experiment and try to make some other things work. By doing that, I now know what is the most productive way to do things. So that's what's happening this year. I come in and I did place in some marigolds in my tomatoes right here. And y'all look, something has been out here digging. I don't know what done that. Right here beside my tomato. Some critter. We'll have to get Brody on that critter. But you see, I did put in some marigolds. They really do help with the aphids and stuff like that. Y'all, I'm all about what I can do naturally to keep me from being out here spraying pesticides and doing all. You know, it ain't that I want to do pesticides and chemical fertilizer stuff, but I am going to do what works. So, everything so far has got triple 13 under it. Put the plants I've made of fur, put the triple 13, healed it back over with a tractor, and then I come in with my dibbler, poked a hole, stuck a plant in. That simple. There really wasn't a whole lot to show. So we do have it in, and I have it this year where I can take a tiller and I can keep these middles clean. That way the only hoeing I've got to do is around my plants. So, and these onions, y'all, look how good they look. We got them cleaned out, and I've come by and plowed around some of it, and I did not plow right on them. And y'all, my potatoes over there, somebody asked about the potatoes. Our potatoes are up and look good. I'll ride over there at some point and try to get a clip, show y'all the potatoes and try to drop it in right here. But I've got one trellis down there that I don't have anything on. I have got my Oriental Express cucumbers right here on this cattle panel trellis. These are my multiplying onions. They'll permanently stay there. If they die back, that's their home. They'll always be there. Right here, I have my national cucumbers in the ground. And then I've got a trellis right here that's extra, and I don't know what I'm gonna put on it yet. So I have some black cherry tomatoes, and I may just put them there and tie them to that. I don't really know how, because I hadn't really come up with how I'm gonna cage or tie or stake this year. I do something different every year. I tried the string deal. I tried the string deal last year, and it works. It's really aggravating. It kept stretching, falling over. You just about as well, time you put enough stakes to hold all it up on a long row, you just about as well as to stake each tomato and tie them off. I do think tying them off with something a little heavier than the string that I've been using is probably better to keep from breaking your limbs. But however, that's what I had an abundance of to use. I'm working on one other project I wanted to show you right here. I haven't finished. In the spirit of taking my stuff out from behind my house and fixing my back patio, this tank was right there under the air conditioner, basically catching air conditioner water. So I've got to reroute that air conditioner water to somewhere out from where it's at. But I brought this tank down here, and I have an old piece of a gutter that is made to screw to a facial board. So I'm gonna have to fabricate probably some of them oak sticks, screw them to the back of it where I can screw down through here to hang that, and then I'm gonna pipe that gutter system into this tank. That way I'm at least catching some rainwater. Whether I use it for chickens or for the garden won't matter. So I've got to get that done here at some point. I keep a lot of projects going on. The next thing I want to talk about is the fig trees. Man, everybody around here has lost their fig trees. I do have some green coming up right out of the bottom right here and then out of the ground, but I pruned back, but I think I'm gonna wind up having to cut all the limbs off. I think everything is dead. I wanted to show you something else on it. On here, look, this stuff that looks like hair coming out, that is where bugs has gone in. And see how they just break off? That is a bug in there eating on that. So this wood makes a really beautiful grained knife handle. So, probably gonna cut all these limbs off at some point. I was trying to salvage it. My mom and dad told me, "So it's dead, son, you're gonna have to cut it." I argued with them. I ain't gonna lie, I argued. I didn't want. It hurt my feelings, y'all. I've come out here and eat off of this tree. I don't know if the cold killed it. When it started putting back in the spring, there was one side of it that had green leaves come out, big green leaves come out early, and then the cold come in late, dried it up. It knocked all the leaves you can see behind me on these sawtooth oaks. You see the dead leaves that's up in here, right here. This is the whole tree. The whole tree was completely leafed out. It killed every leaf on it. The whole tree put back out, except for some of the very top up there you can see. So, I mean, we lost a lot of stuff, you know, as far as fruit this year. My one blueberry bush has got blueberries. This never lost any leaves. This is plums, so hopefully we're all right here. But anyway, I just wanted to show y'all a little what we was putting in. I finally got my little bed back over there cleaned out behind my chicken pen. We getting some gardening and chickens and stuff done. I moved some more babies yesterday. Let's go look back in the brooder coop. I had several Americanas hatch out. Y'all, we have got a coop full of babies. I have got them banded, the ones that are game. The majority of this is Americanas, laying the blue egg, and that's what I'm going for. I'm probably going to transition these into that big pen and pull all of those game birds out of that big pen and divvy them up or get rid of them or do something. I think these will be better just laying. The game birds keep wanting to kill each other now, and they fight over the eggs and everything else. And I had an Americana die the other day. She had been crippled for a while, and I found her dead in the pen. So these are the best eggs. They're blue eggs. They peel the best. They're the best tasting. They lay the best. I'd prefer them over Rhode Islands, anything. So that is why I'm raising them. But I love my game birds. We're not getting out of the game bird business by no means. Just a little more of what's practical. I'm doing what works for me. If I need to eat birds, those Americanas is a better chance of eating them than those game birds. You can't hardly eat them game birds. But anyway, that's a look around at what's going on in the gardens and such as that. Thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.